2 years, 2.5 years in narcotics, I got a call to go to the Manhattan District Attorney's office, and I met another patrolman, and his name was Mel Waxman. We were told that gays were being shook down by a male white and a male black, which became known to us as a salt and pepper team. They suspected that they were cops.
How do you know they're cops?
Because they're wearing shields and riding around in a radio car.
And these cops would take the gay person and make him draw out his savings, or even contact his parents and draw out their savings. Then there was 2, possibly 3 killings connected with this.
How'd you like to disappear?
Disappear?
Go undercover.
So Mel Waxman and myself were sent out into that world to come up with the killers.
What the hell is this?
It was brought to a successful conclusion. They went to trial, and they were never convicted on the killings. However, they were given big time, if you will, for extortion, assault, kidnapping, and they went to jail. And they were not cops. That was the happy ending for me.
The other facet that became very important to cruising was a link to The Exorcist, actually. When I filmed The Exorcist in New York, one of the scenes that we shot was the examination of the little girl's brain, and I filmed that sequence with the actual radiologist who does it and his assistant. Now, these were not actors. The assistant was a very pleasant young man named Paul Bateson. When it came to do cruising, I read in the New York Daily News that Paul was being held for the murder of the man who was the critic for Variety magazine in New York, whose name was Addison Verrell. And according to the charges, Paul had gone to Mr. Verrell's apartment and bludgeoned him to death. These were the charges. And he was being held at Rikers Island pending his trial. So I went down one day to Rikers Island and I met with him and we had a very pleasant chat. And so it was that real connection to a killer and then my own observation of what was going on in the leather bars, as well as the essence of Gerald Walker's book that got me interested in doing cruising.
When he started to work on the screenplay, we then began to go out to various locations of where these things happen. This is the hotel that I used, and here was the clubs that I went into. This is the apartment where I lived in. One night, my phone rings, and it's Billy. And he said, I've come to a part, he said, in this screenplay where I need Al Pacino to get into the killer's apartment without the killer knowing it. I had an occasion in my career to go into an apartment after somebody, and I said, Billy, here's how I did this. When this individual left his apartment in broad daylight, I went across the street, climbed up the ladder, went up the fire escape, and went in the window. And Billy looked at me and I said, Billy, what you have to remember is that I'm a cop. If anybody stopped me from going up the fire escape, I would have showed them my shield and I would have said to them, I'm a cop working. They would mind their business. We got back 2 o'clock in the morning and Billy wrote that. With Billy, whatever it was, it had to be real. Could this happen? Things like this 250-pound detective with a cowboy hat, a jock strap. This happened in real life.
Who is that guy?
All right. You give me your cause of death.
I can't give you the cause of death from this.
As he continued to write and we continued to go to the various locations, Billy said to me, "We're going to use the morgue." And I said, "Billy, out of all the permits and out of all the places and all the courtrooms that I've gotten you into, I'm never going to be able to do the morgue." It took me a while, but I got from Dr. Michael Baden, the chief medical examiner of the city of New York, permission to go in and film in the morgue.
After I wrote the script and it went around to the various talent agencies, a short time later, word came in from Al Pacino's agent, and he said, "Listen, Pacino has read this script and loves it and wants to do it." And so I met with Jerry Weintraub, and he said, "Well, what do you think?" And I said, "I don't know, he's a very good actor, and if you want to, let's do it with Pacino."
The first question that he said to me was, "Did you really wear leather during that period? Did you really do that?" And I said, "Yes, Al, I did." And from there, it was Al Pacino asking questions and then becoming the sponge, if you will.
I did talk to him a lot about what the gay scene was. He had no idea what was happening, but he did speak to a few friends of his who were gay, and one day he said he wanted to go out and get a haircut like the one which he saw being predominant in the gay world in New York, and the haircut didn't work out too well. And so we had to delay the start of production for a while his hair grew back in. I put him right into these scenes and situations, and he was fairly well shocked by a lot of the things that he saw with all of this sexual activity, in fact, going on all around him. Very often he would come to the set, and then he wanted to basically go out and improvise these scenes until something clicked. In looking at Cruising now, I can see that in many ways he has struck just the right note, a note of innocence in his character.
Yellow on the left side means you give gold in the shower. Right side you receive. The red one means...
Say anything you want?
I'm gonna go home and think about it.